started to understand what I think is a superpower, the superpower of listening, is, oh my goodness, most people don't listen at all.
Mm.
And typically, and I use the sort of metaphor of my two hands, this is what happens in a conversation with two people. Everyone is talking, no one is listening, and it's very shallow because every time this person not even finishes speaking, draws breath, the other person jumps in. They've already stopped listening because they're rehearsing what they're going to say. Now imagine this with 5 people. It's just noise. And personally, I just will drop out of those conversations. Equally, if you arrive on the call and you're still and steady and present, and the other person arrives and they're like this, that's fine. But we're like a beacon. We're like that radiator that's sitting there as an anchor for them. So eventually they go, rah, 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 rah. Ah, I'm here. And I think that's how neither of us create the space, but when we're together, a space, a bowl, if you like, gets created. And one of the things I've noticed is that people really enjoy a conversation that has no agenda, that has a depth to it, a safety to it, a listening element which enables us to think better and to share, because it's a safe place, it's a caring place. And all of those, some would say, fluffy type words, but actually they really matter. And the point you made beautifully about loneliness is that it's rising, as is mental health, as is suicide. People don't feel heard. And what's something you spoke about early on, sorry, not in this, but just before we started, is about that you've come to the conclusion that you're enough. Most people don't feel they're enough. They are this, they're not this enough, not that enough, not whatever enough. And when we get somebody listening to us, somebody's saying, and what more? You're interested in me. You're interested in what I've said. That makes me feel as though I matter. And I mentioned the coffee shop and other times. I think it's in Pret sometimes. They'll give me a free cup of coffee because I've actually spoken to them and listened to them. There is a connection, and they feel I want to give something back. So have a cake or have a drink. And isn't it sad that that's the way it is rather than the way it could be? So it's unusual that somebody is interested in you. It's unusual that somebody wants to know a little bit more. And you think, wow, no wonder we're in the mess that we're in. Generally, I mean, and all the good things they've said about how much better off than we are and all of those things. But fundamentally, we are struggling, I think, with connection.